ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਓਕਵਿਲ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ MP ਚੁਣੇ ਗਏ ਪਿਛਲੀਆਂ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਔਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਾਬਲੀਅਤ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ MP ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਦੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਨੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਿਉਰਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ। ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਇਕਵਿਪਮੈਂਟਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਰੀਦ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਤੋਂ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਨਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਬਲਕਿ ਜਲਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਜਿੰਨੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ ਓਨਾ ਹੀ ਚੰਗਾ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਸੇਵਕ ਮਾਨ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਰਾਈ ਸੀ। ਪਾਇਲਟ ਨੇ ਉਹ, ਮਿਸਟਰ ਵਰਮਾਨੀ ਦੀ ਉਸ ਕੰਪਨੀ 'ਚੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਐਜ਼ ਪਾਇਲਟ। ਉਹ ਦੱਸ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ੰਘਾਈ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਥਾਵਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਇਕਵਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ PPEs ਸਾਰਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ। ਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਵਾਂ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਅਨੀਤਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਾਈਲ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ। ਵਾਟ ਏ ਬ੍ਰਿਲੀਅੰਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਾਈਲ ਸ਼ੀ ਹੈਜ਼। ਨਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹ ਆਪ 2 ਡਾਕਟਰਸ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਸੰਤਾਨ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸੀਗੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿਸਟਰ ਵੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਸਿਸਟਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਇਰ ਹੈ। ਖੁਦ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਕਈ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ, ਡਲਹੌਜ਼ੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਆਕਸਫੋਰਡ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਕੁਈਨਜ਼ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ 'ਚ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਇਹ ਫੈਕਲਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਦੇਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੋਲੀਟਿਕਸ 'ਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਿਆ। ਤੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਸਟ, ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਲੰਬਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਸੋ ਹਾਈਲੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਟਿਡ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਵੈਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸਡ ਇਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਿਉਰਮੈਂਟ ਇਨ ਆਲ ਦੀਜ਼ ਫੀਲਡਸ। ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ 'ਚ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਤੋ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਜੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ 'ਤੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਫਰੰਟ ਲਾਈਨ ਵਰਕਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਾਨ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਸਹੀ ਡਿਸਟਰੀਬਿਊਟ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਹਰ ਥਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਸਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਤੋ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ 'ਚ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨਗੇ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅਨੀਤਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਨੰਦ।
Namaste, Dhanyavad, Sat Sri Akal. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on, Rajinder, and how happy I am to be here for the first time on Parvasi.
Thank you so much. I understand you must be very busy these days. तो फिलहाल प्राइम मिनिस्टर सानू एवरी डे दस ही रहे हैं कि मिलियंस की गिनती विच उथों समान जिहड़ा आ रहा है। We are procuring equipments from all over the place, mainly from China. We had some issues with the US when President Donald Trump denied to send those masks and other equipment to us. But later on, I don't know what is the latest situation. So will you please explain to us?
Most definitely. We are procuring personal protective equipment every day in a market characterized by a surge in demand. We are able to maintain a steady stream of goods flowing from diverse sources, as you mentioned, from international supply chains as well as domestically in Canada. We are seeing Canadian companies step up and produce a number of goods, face shields, gowns, hand sanitizer, for example. There are still challenges, but we have established a more regular pace of significant deliveries of personal protective equipment and medical supplies from both international and domestic sources. To date, we have received 29 plane loads of a variety of PPE and medical supplies, as well as orders made directly by other jurisdictions. So things are steady now, and we are procuring for the short and the long term.
Okay, we heard that Mr. Vermani's company is playing a very major role. So we are so proud being Indian, from Indian origin, that Indian origin guy's company, and most of his pilots, his staff is also from India. Though we are all Canadians, but still it is important for us to understand.
Exactly. I mean, I think there are many of us who have Indian origin and are Canadians who are stepping up to assist the Canadian government in terms of its response to the global pandemic. Whether we're talking about the Vermanis in cargo jet, or whether we're talking about frontline healthcare professionals, or whether we're talking about government itself. It's certainly a cross-Canada effort, and it's incredible to see so many people step up and do their part for Canada.
I know when we buy something, when we procure something hurriedly, and particularly in this emergency kind of situation, there were some issues with the stuff coming from China, and Prime Minister said we are taking these things very seriously. Will you please also add something or explain something about that?
Of course, I want to mention that our priority is making sure we get safe, effective equipment and supplies into the hands of frontline healthcare professionals. The Public Health Agency of Canada has robust testing measures in place. They're in place for the very purpose of ensuring quality control of essential products before they go out to the provinces and territories. And I will say, in regards to previous shipments, that anything that doesn't meet the standard doesn't get sent out to frontline healthcare professionals. We are making adjustments all the time to ensure that the supplies we need meet the standards that are set by professionals.
Okay, in the beginning, we were listening from different provinces that they have a shortage of these PPEs. So there was a big demand everywhere. So federal government is procuring it and sending to various provinces, other our areas in the country. So what is the situation right now? Are we getting enough supply for those frontline workers all over Canada now?
You have isolated the exact process that we are undertaking. So the provinces and territories provide their request to the federal government, and then we go out and procure or purchase based on their request, and then we deliver them out to the provinces and territories, and then they distribute that product out to frontline healthcare professionals. And so we are continuing to purchase in the short and the long term for the provinces and territories. And every couple of weeks, I speak with my procurement counterparts in the provinces and territories to assess and determine whether we could be doing more for the provinces and territories. And I will say that the table is very collaborative, it is very cooperative, and we have been working well together in terms of cooperating to secure personal protective equipment.
Okay. During a Prime Minister press conference, I remember last week, one reporter asked him a question that they heard that China bought something from us. They procured this kind of stuff from us even before COVID-19. So we don't understand. We don't know why they were procuring this kind of stuff from all over the world. Will you please tell us a little bit about this also?
The important thing to note is that once the pandemic hit, we were immediately continuing to supply or purchase supplies for the provinces and territories. And many of these supplies at the current time are coming from China, but we're also ramping up our domestic capacity, and domestic corporations have proven to be so effective. And indeed, Navdeep Bains, Minister Bains, has been very active on this file also, and Minister Bains and I have been working very closely in terms of working with domestic suppliers to build up our domestic capacity to ensure that the pandemic would not affect Canada in this way again. We have received more than 100,000 medical gowns from Canadian manufacturers, and of the more than 2.5 million face shields we have received, half were made in Canada. This has been received just over the past couple of weeks, and deliveries continue to ramp up. So this is an ongoing response effort that we're making, and Canadian businesses and Canadians themselves have really stepped up.
Okay, thank you so much. My last question, US is our neighboring country. We have very strong business relations with US. So many companies from US were already supplying us this kind of stuff, but later on there were a little bit controversy about that. How things are going on right now?
The relationship between the Canada and the United States governments is extremely strong, and we continue to discuss a multitude of items with our U.S. counterparts, from opening the borders and providing personal protective equipment to ensuring that goods and services can continue to flow across the border for essential services as the borders remain closed is very, very important. So the relationship is strong, and we continue to work with our U.S. counterparts.
You were enjoying your job as a professor in the academic, field. All of a sudden, you came to politics, and immediately you were given this big responsibility. How are you liking this new profession?
My feeling right now is one of urgency, that I must do the job that has been given to me and for which I'm so grateful from the Prime Minister. And I will continue to work extremely hard until we can be confident that the short and the long-term needs of Canadians are taken care of. And so while I'm very grateful, I also feel that there is an urgent need to continue working hard to get the job done. I'm very, very much grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve Canada in this way.
Your parents came here as immigrants, and then you were grown up here, you got education here, the level you have achieved. We are really so proud of you, and you are really a role model for our next coming generations who want to aspire in education field and in politics.
Well, I must say thank you so much for such kind words, Rajinder. I am very grateful to be part of this community and to give back in any way I can. And I'll continue to do that because I think it is very important for our younger generations to have role models that they can look up to and say to themselves that any goal is achievable if you set your mind to it. In Canada, for sure, this is the country where the opportunity to set your mind to do something and to achieve it is possible. And so in any way that I can try to assist the community, I will.
Thank you so much, and please keep up the good work.